Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Protection Update, Friday the 3rd of December 2021. Now it's exactly that time of year where there's a deadline in sight in just a few weeks' time in the shape of Christmas. In the meantime, there's lots to do, lots to get across the line, lots of activity before everything inevitably shuts down and Christmas arrives. But we're obviously not there yet. There's still a lot going on, so let me just tell you a few things about what's happening right now and things to look out for. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about today was that you should have seen a communication from iPipeline this week talking about some new risk reports, which are not usually available via the standard Solution Builder platform. So I wanted to say thank you to Claire Shine at iPipeline for sending me a note asking me to mention this in this week's protection update, because you may well have missed it. I've also added a link to this week's protection update, which will give you access to these new risk reports, and I'm going to demonstrate exactly what you need to do for you to be able to create these risk reports for your clients. They're only going to be free to use for the next few months, so please do check them out. So the first thing you need to do is click on the link on this week's protection update, and that will take you to the registration page. So on that page, you need to enter your details, that's name and contact information. And that's all you've got to do. And then you'll have access to these different risk reports. But what I would suggest that you do is bookmark this page now so that you can return back to it again and again. Otherwise, I think it'll be quite difficult to find. Now, the risk reports in question are a remortgage risk report, self-employed risk report, and a life and critical illness risk report. So if we take a look at the remortgage risk report first, so what you need to do is enter some basic information about your clients. This will be information that you already have, such as how much is the mortgage, what's the term, the details about the clients themselves. And then when we generate the risk report, it's portrayed in a very similar way to what you've seen before on the mortgage and risk report, but there's a clearer reminder here about the provisions they don't already have. So on my example, I'm saying the client doesn't have any type of cover, and you can see this shown at the top of the report. Again, you get the 1 in 10, the 2 in 5 chances as shown on the report, and you also get those indicative premiums from Solution Builder built into the report. Now, if we take a look at the self-employed risk report, this one's a little bit different, and you don't have to enter too much information to create it. What you'll see here is a reminder at the top of the page about the provisions a typical employed person would have access to. A self-employed person wouldn't have these, and I think that's quite powerful. You can see here a reminder about statutory sick pay. Self-employed people don't get that. And then income protection, critical illness, and life assurance can potentially be provided as an employee benefit, but that simply isn't possible for a self-employed worker. So again, I think that's quite powerful to be able to portray the amount of covers that they're missing out on by simply being self-employed. And again, of course, you get the normal risk probability and the indicative costings at the bottom. I know a lot of you do use risk reports, so take a look at these and see if you like them. And of course, let me know. Now this week, Vitality have launched a new earnings guarantee on personal protection. And we're talking here specific to income protection. Effectively, what this means is that for income protection benefits up to £1,500 a month, when a customer makes a claim, their salary won't be taken into account when calculating the maximum benefit payable. And we do know that other providers do that. But what Vitality are doing a little bit differently is they've also built something in to tackle the benefit amounts above £1,500 and up to £8,000 a month. Now, for those situations, the client will have the flexibility to verify their earnings, and that's within the first 6 months of the plan. And when they do so, that guarantees that benefit amount. Now, we know that different providers have different maximum income protection limits, but we do know also that 50% as a level is pretty much available for most providers who offer income protection. So, work the maths. £8,000 a month is £96,000 a year, and we're talking their income protection benefit. If that equates to 50% of someone's income, that provides guaranteed income protection cover for incomes of up to £192,000. Not bad, eh? Now, I've added a link to the Vitality Sales Aid, which does get into a little bit more of that detail and a few other really useful features on the income protection plan. And finally, it's a short protection update this week. You should have noticed a big Protection Guru logo that we've added to the advisor site. Now, if you're not using Protection Guru, or you don't know what it is, you might be missing out. It's free to use and it's free to sign up for. And whenever I've got a query about anything protection related, which is usually every single day, that is my first port of call. For example, just this week, Protection Guru have run an article about the insurers on the protection market who include trauma benefit on income protection plans. Would you know who those providers are? I wouldn't either, but knowing where I can find the information within a few seconds is pretty handy to know. What about the latest state of play regarding COVID? Do you know which insurers currently apply COVID exclusions to income protection? Again, if you don't, they published an article on Tuesday this week. And the Vitality upgrade I've just talked about, Protection Guru did an article about that on Tuesday this week, but they also delved a bit deeper to talk about the other providers who have a similar stance with their propositions. So it's a really wonderful resource to have access to Protection Guru, and I've added a link to this week's protection update, so if you've not already registered, all you need to do is click on that link and do so. It'll only take you a few minutes. So that's it from me for another week. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.